question 6. Waec questions 2023. So express 413 base 7 in base 5. So the first thing you do, you convert 413 to base 10, which we write in a form like this: 413 base 7. You start from 0, 1, 2. So which you write to have 4 times 7 square plus 1 times 7 raised to the power 1 plus 3 times 7 raised to the power 0. Therefore, we have 4 times 49 plus 1 times 7 plus 3 times 1, which is equal to, so 4 times 197 will give you, 4 times 49 will give you 196 plus 7 plus 3. So by the time you add this, everything will give you 206 base 10, meaning that 413 base 7 is the same thing as 206 base 10. So you are able to convert 413 base 7 to 206 base 10. So therefore, the question said that express in base 5. So if you are to express in base 5, express 206 base 10 in base 5. So in arranging this in base 5, you have something like this. You have 206. So we have 5. So therefore, this is 4, 1, remainder 1. So 5 from 40, we have 8, remainder 1. 5 in 8, we have 1, remainder 3. 5 in 1, we have 0, remainder 1. So meaning that 206 base 10 is equal to 1, 3, 1, 1, because you move up. So in the process of moving up, base 5. So if you're able to see from the question, you realize that the answer from the questions, which it is, see that the answer from the question now is the B part, because in the B part we have 13115. So the final answer here is B, which is 13115. So that is the answer for the question 6 in the Waec question. So this is question 6. So if this is a logarithm questions, now let's solve this. He said log x base 3 plus log x minus 8 base 3 is equal to 2. So you back to the law of logarithms, which says log p base a plus log q base a is the same thing as log p q base a. So if this thing is obeyed, therefore we now have log x bracket x minus 8 base 3 is equal to 2. There is another law. We said log p base a is equal to x. We say you can rewrite to have p to be equal to a raised to power x. So now if you now have a raised to power x. So if you have a raised to power x, therefore you now have log x onto x minus 8 is equal to 2. So you now apply this law to have something like x onto x minus 8 is equal to 3 square. So if you now have x onto x minus 8, which is equal to 9, we have x squared minus 8x is equal to 9. You're able to see that it has now formed a quadratic forms. So therefore we have x squared minus 8x minus 9 is equal to 0. So we now back to a quadratic equation that we have two numbers that we can add up together to give us 8 and multiply. If you're able to see, if we have, let's assume we have x squared minus 9x plus x. By the time you add this, you give you minus x. By the time you multiply minus 9 and 1, it will give you minus 9, which is equal to this. So you combine it, that x squared minus 9x, you combine it, plus x minus 9 is equal to 0. So what's common around here it is, so what's common here it is x. To have x minus 9 plus 1 is common, which is equal to 0. So therefore, if you consider this and this are the same, we now have x plus 1 onto x minus 9 is equal to 0. So x plus 1 is equal to 0, or x minus 9 is equal to 0. So x is equal to minus 1, or x is equal to 9. So in view of this, so therefore x is now equal to minus 1 and 9. So from the question so far, you discover that x is equal to 9. So if you're able to see, the answer here is D. So number 6 is D. So that is just the answer. So this is question 7. Mr. Malu is 4 times as old as his son. Adu, that is the son's name. 7 years ago, the sum of their ages was 76. How old is Adu? Now, in having these questions, what you want to solve here is, he said Mr. Malu is 4 times as old as his son. He said let his son is let Adu's age, which is son, equals x. So that is the age of the son. But now say Mr. Malu age will now be 4x, because it says Mr. Malu is 4 times as old as his son. But there's a term, there's a kind of language being used. They said 7 years ago. 7 years ago. You have to understand this fact. In 7 years ago, most important thing common here is that is 7 years before. It means the Adu's age will be minus 7. Mr. Malu's age, Malu, will be 4x minus 7. So if, but it did not say that the sum of their age in that 7 years ago, the sum of their age in the 7 years ago, they had it together. This is son. This is, you can call father, which is Malu. So this is son. They said the sum is what? 76. The sum of their age is 76 because by the time they had the son with the father, and the father is Mr. Malu, is 76. So it has now forms an equation to have x minus 7 plus 4x minus 7 is equal to 76. So you collect the like terms in the first right side. We have x plus 4x minus 7 is equal to 76. So we have 5x plus 14 minus 14, sorry, minus 14 is equal to 76. So we have 5s is equal to, you collect the like terms, plus 14. So we have 5s is equal to, that is, so by the time you add the two together, you have 90. We have 90. So he said divide both sides by 5. So we have 5x over 5 is equal to 90 over 5. So therefore our x here is 18 years. So how old is Adu? So 5 in 9, it is 1 times, it will remain 4. So 5 in 40, making 18 years. So from this part, you're able to see that in number 7, the answer is C. That is just the answer for the second, for number. The number 8 questions is a difference of 2 squares. So the number 8 here is a difference of 2 squares, which will let you to understand how 2 squares works. Now, factorize. Before we start solving these questions, I have something to explain. For example, we have a squared minus b squared. You know it will surely give you a plus b, a minus b. So what it means here is a difference of 2 squares. Now, if you're able to see, our a here is x, and our b there is y plus z. So now just apply the formula to this, which says that x squared minus y plus z squared, it will just give you, so simple, you apply the formula to say that x plus y plus z. You able to see? So at the same time you said x minus y plus z. So just rearrange, you have x plus y plus z onto x minus y minus z. So that is just, without wasting much of your time, this is just the answer is x plus y plus z and x minus y minus z. So let's find where it is. You see, from the b part, you're able to see that x plus y plus z, x minus y minus z. So the answer here is just b. When I in question 9, if you're able to see from this question 9, it said find the root of the quadratic equation. It said 3m squared minus 2m minus 65 is equal to 0. So we have, the first thing you need to do is to say that 3m squared times minus 65. The logical way is that you don't even need to multiply it all through, what you just need here is to say that 3m squared times minus 13 times 5. But what exactly need, let's leave minus at this spot. Let's leave minus. What need is factors of 65. We have 3 times 13 times 5. Now, by the time you multiply these two, you can still be said to have 15 times 13. Because 3 times 65 will give you 195. So 13 times 15 times 13 will also give you 195. So therefore, what we need is minus 2. The sum of the roots, product is 195 m squared, sum minus 195, sum is minus 2m. So by the time we have minus 15m plus 13m, so the product, by the time you multiply the two, so the product will give you minus 195m, which obey this. So by the time you add up together, that is sum. Sum will give you minus 15m plus 13m to give you minus 2m. So that is how to prove a quadratic equation. So you will now start analyzing to have 3m squared minus 2m minus 65 is equal to 0. So we have 3m squared minus 15m plus 13m minus 65 is equal to 0. So you just rearrange and you find what is common. So here, what is common here is 3m. 3m is common, it remains m minus 5. Here, what is common? 13 is common, we have m minus 5. So we now have 3m minus 13 onto m minus 5 is equal to 0. I want you to understand one fact, that if a is equal to a times b is equal to 0, it means that it is a is equal to 0 or b is equal to 0. So therefore 3m minus 13 is equal to 0 or m minus 5 is equal to 0. So therefore we have 3m is equal to 13 or m is equal to 5. So m is equal to 13 over 3 or m is equal to 5. So m will give you, so that's, they even write 13, it is m is 13 over 5 and it's plus, because that is just it. We have m minus 5, and this will, our final answer here, you go and find where we see 13 over 3 and 5. So let's see, we see from the question A. So from question A, you're able to see that that is the answer. So that's all. So there's a little error, please. This is plus. It's plus. It is plus. So here will be minus. Minus. So the answer is here is minus 13. That is C. Sorry. So the answer is not. So the answer is not A. So the answer is C. Minus 13 over 5. Sorry for a little error. So we're in question 10. The question 10 said, m varies jointly as the square of n and the square root of q if n is equal to 24 is equal to 24 when n is equal to 2 and q is equal to 4. So find n when n is equal to 5 and q. So now in solving a question like this, said m mathematical interpretation of this, he said m varies jointly as square of n and square root of q. Square root of q. This is just the meaning. So in writing it out mathematically, we have m is equal to kn squared root q. So if m is 24, we don't know k. When n is 2 times the square root of what is q? 4. You have 24 is equal to k dot 4 dot 2. So we have 24 is equal to 8k. You can rewrite you have 8k to be equal to 24. Divide both sides by 8. So we have 8k over 8 is equal to 24 over 8. So we have k is equal to 3. So now if our k is equal to 3, they now say find the value of m, which is the formula already. 3n squared. This is the relationship between them. So this is what it means. So we now have to find n. For the fact that you give the n now 5 squared dot square root of what is q? 9. So therefore our m is now equal to 3 times 25 dot 3. So making m is equal to 9 times 25. So you can just say that 250 minus 25. So our m is equal to 225. So this is just a concluded Waec questions. This is just concluded. We saw from question 5 to question 10. So the next video we go from question 11 to question 15. So we also want you to follow us and subscribe to the channel to see more of this video and more solutions. So we have stopped in question 10 now. In the next video we start from the where we stopped. Thanks for watching.